Hey brokers, welcome back to RealtyZapp. Thanks for taking a few minutes today to learn how to send smarter email campaigns. Everyone's blasting everything out today, but we're going to show you through retargeting how to get better results through more targeted efforts to the right audience at the right time. So clicking on dashboard, we're going to go over to the email blasts module, which is right here. In our last video, we talked about designs, and that's where you design a template so that all your email blasts look the same going forward. So clicking on blasts, we come to the blast panel, and creating a new blast is just as simple as clicking this button. You're going to name it something. We'll just call this one test. And then it's not going to go until you turn it on, but going from left straight down, you're going to decide who you want to send it to based on the tags you've applied. So keep in mind, you might have investors that call you from time to time, and if you label them when they call you investor, and you have a new perfect investment to send out to them, you could say send to those I've tagged investor. If you have 10 people in 2 months call you about self-storage units, and you finally get a self-storage unit listed, you could go back through your contacts, search for everyone you've spoken to about self-storage, label them all with a tag self-storage, and send out to those 10 people. Have a lot higher percentage of getting both sides of the deal than you otherwise would. So that's what we mean about targeted audience. We're going to talk about retargeting though in a minute. So send on date, that's a required field, so you want to send it whatever date, set the time, and then a repeat function. So you can set up to send weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. If it's your monthly listing availabilities, good idea to send it monthly. And then you can end it in 6 months, so that once you set this thing and forget it, you don't have to come back and touch it again, unless you sell or lease one of those properties, and then you would just delete the one and then resave it. So subject line, something compelling here. Studies show under 7 words is best. And then open Designer, and from there you're going to see the designs you've already saved in Designer in that panel appear here. So let's say, again, VIP multi-listing email. I'm going to click select that one, and right away you're just going to notice that same framework that you saw over in designs, but it's already going to be set up for you here, displaying the right information in the right places for you. If I hit preview, it's going to show you exactly what it's going to look like. Now it's not going to be populated with listings though, keep in mind, unless you hit this little listing button right there, that little word, and then to go over here and say choose some listings. So those listings there are the ones that I'm seeing being represented when I hit the preview button. Again, you can choose all your listings you want. Probably better to select listings that have to do with one another. So if you're sending out industrial properties to an industrial audience, you get a lot higher click and open rate. So that's as easy as it is now to set up an email blast. Go ahead and revisit the designer page. Of course, if you get to this page and you do want to make some tweaks to this individual email, not to your template used in all of them, but just to this one, you can still do that in the same way you did in designs with the panel on the right. So again, really good idea to check out designs before coming here, but once you've done a design and you have it looking the way you want it to, you really don't have to go back there much. It's all about bringing that design into this, hitting preview, clicking save, and then once you've done everything in here, like we've already done, clicking save again. Now retargeting, if I've set up a broadcast email to go out with my monthly listings, and because it automatically tags everyone who clicks on every more button with the address of that property, I can then set up another email that goes out maybe 3 days later just about this property using a different template. If I double click on this, and I were to choose the single listing template, let me start over. The single listing property template, then it's going to have a little bit of a different look. Let me choose the listing that I want to display, and let's say that that was the one that I was looking at earlier. Selecting that and then previewing will let me know what this one's going to look like. And here I have 2 photos below the price and the primary photo up here. But then you can choose different verbiage to talk about, whether it's an open house or a broker incentive, etc. And then click save, and you're done. Again, with this one, you're going to send out to people using those tags like public storage, self-storage, for those people who've inquired about self-storage, and you've placed a tag on them as such. So anyway, that's retargeting using tags, which is a very good way to identify people and their relevance to you and their interest levels, interest in certain types of property. So you can group them, and then that'll show you how many people you're going to be sending to. So make sure you pay attention to that and you're using the proper tags so that that number isn't 0. And then you just save the email once again, and you're off to the races. Again, once you've turned it on, that's just a safeguard so that it won't go until you're completely ready for it to go. So anyway, thanks for again joining us today to learn a little bit about broadcast email. If you have any questions about anything covered in any of our videos, remember the circle question mark at the top of each page, and you can always send an email to support@realtyzapp.com, empowering the real estate community.